Howdy there folks, I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs and this is the video review of the Epiphany Acoustics EHP-O2 portable headphone amplifier. Now this is going to retail you £99 sterling. If you're in the United States like myself, that's going to equate to about $160. Now, I say portable headphone amplifier with a grain of salt because this is not portable in the traditional sense of the word. It's about 1.5 inches deep, 4 inches long, and 3 inches wide. So this is going to far supersede the size you'll find in similarly priced headphone amplifiers like the EHP-O E7 or the Digizoid Zo. But keep in mind that this has quite a bit more punch and a significant amount of power that those headphone amplifiers don't have. But with that, you get a pretty exponential size and weight. I suppose this is portable because it does run off of a battery, but you're not going to strap this to your iPhone and stick it in your pocket. In fact, it's not even going to fit in your pocket. If you're around town, this is probably not what you're going to be rocking, but I've used this when I'm on the road or in my car or driving about or in a plane. This is a lot more manageable because it does provide significantly better sound than other portable headphone amplifiers, but this size is something that you're going to have to get over, and you're going to have to recognize that this is not something you're going to take around with you nonchalantly. It's huge. It's big enough that you can't just strap it to your phone and go about your day like you can with some of these smaller headphone amplifiers. But because of this size, there are pretty impressive driving capabilities behind this. It drives most headphones just fine. My less efficient headphones like the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pro 600 ohm version and the Sennheiser HD650, they were driven a little bit less efficiently. The EHP-O2 could still handle them, they just weren't to their full potential you get out of a desktop headphone amplifier. Orthodynamics I have not tried on this, and I haven't attempted to try because since those are so inefficient, I doubt the EHP-O2 would really hold a match up to the candlestick. That being said, though, the majority of IEM and closed-back cans work great, especially for something you're going to use when you're, seeking portable audio. When you're on the plane with your closed-back headphones, these are gonna sound fantastic. Let's talk about the audio spectrum of things. Well, I'll talk about the construction really quick. It's made out of metal. It's very, very well built, top-notch construction. The only plastic pieces on that are the power, the output, the gain, and the input buttons. Everything else is metal, and it's really, really nice. There is an AC port here to plug it in to charge. You can also leave it in there all the time if you're going to use this as a desktop amplifier. There's a power button, which will give you a little LED notification implying that the headphone amplifier is on. There's an output port for your headphones, an input port for your source, be it a laptop or an iPad or an iPhone or some other player. And you have a gain switch, which will pretty much turn on the amplifier's functionality. I've always found myself to leave this on, and then you adjust the gain through this knob here. Let's talk about the audio quality because I do think it's pretty impressive coming out of a device this size. The low end adds quite a bit of quantity. There's a lot more bass when you plug into this, but it's quality. It carries through. There's great extension blending into the transition from the mids to the low mids and to the high basses, but never did they blend together, which you find in a lot of cheaper amplifiers. The bass is a tad forward, making it slightly warmer, which I really, really like. It kind of emulates a bit of an analog feel, but I really did like that. We're talking about the mids. They're very full, round, and concise. The percussive instruments are quick. They do not fall behind, which again is pretty unusual in a headphone amplifier in this class. Male vocals are just out of this world, fantastically good, amazingly smooth and lush. As for the females, they're okay. They sounded good. They just didn't, quite match that of the male counterpart. Trebles are really pretty laid back. They extend very, very far, but they don't have the allure or sparkle that some amplifiers do. But because of this, there's zero sibilance, which is great. And I found that this amplifier was really, really good for casual listening. It's not too analytical, it's not too accurate per se, but it did sound really, really nice, and it did bring that lower end into play, especially that midsection, which you just do not see in cheaper headphone amplifiers such as this. Soundstage was pretty excellent. There was more expansion and playful subtlety than I feel there is in most headphone amplifiers. It was not out of this world, but it was pretty good. there are a few bad things about the EHP-O2, which I'd like to address. Volume tracking here is not super smooth, and there is a very, very fine line between excellent sound and terrible sound based upon your source's volume and the volume on this gain knob. You have to really dial it in just right to get that pure audio quality you can get out of the EHP-O2, which was slightly annoying. Again, as I stated, this is not for analytical listening. It's purely a fun, really, really enjoyable amplifier because of that exaggerated low end, because of that very full mid section. But those trebles and the lack of trebles, and I'm not going to say there's a huge lack of trebles because it really is pretty nice. It's just too laid back for analytical listening. And it's only semi-portable, which I talked about earlier. This is great for the plane, the train, but when you're around town rocking your pair of headphones and your iPhone, this is not going to be what you're going to carry around with you because it's simply too large. The good stuff, though, I mean, there's very natural sound. It is a little bit exaggerated, but it sounds really, really nice. There's precise instrument separation, which was really, really enjoyable. You could really hear every part. The mids made percussive instruments really, really nice. They never fell behind. They were very quick and smooth. And there's excellent emphasis in every section, other than maybe the treble a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it really, really was nice. I really enjoyed listening to the EHP-O2. I use this around the house all the time. If I'm not near my Woo Audio WA6, I'm downstairs or watching a TV show, I always use this because it really does improve sound tenfold. It's just a matter of the size and the lack of portability. But if you can stand that, I think it's a really, really great amplifier. You could even use this as a desktop amp. I wouldn't because I have nicer equipment, but if you were just going to get one amplifier that you could use around town and in your house, this is probably where you should start. At $160, it brings a lot of really, really great value. I've tested the headphone amplifiers that cost twice as much and don't sound half as good. And so because of that, I'm going to give the Epiphany Acoustics EHP-O2 a Snazzy Labs approved award. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.